good.
Shalom, Makim, Waf. First and foremost, before we start, we give all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh,
Ba'ashir Yahushai, Ba'ashir Kakadash.
that ones to the elder apostles who ruled well the great millstone. Peace and salutation to all the fellow laborers of the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, scattered over the four corners of the earth. And we're just gonna get right into it. My spirit is a little agitated because this devil, sleepy, creepy Joe, he signed that bill that declared today as a national holiday for you slaves to go out there and party and turn up, find a reason to go and turn your grill on and play some loud ass nigga music. This ain't nothing to be celebrated, man. At the end of the day, you're still in Babylon the Great. You're still in the land of your captivity. All right? Your enemies are still above you. You're still the tail, they're still the head. So what is there to really celebrate? All right? That's what.
Yeah, I went to the grocery store and Jake is with it. Jake is with it. They're acting like this is the first level of getting reparations.
Yeah, sure.
They in. They're all in right now.
Yeah, like Juneteenth.
Bro.
Juneteenth sign.
Now they went on that. Just how they was out.
How they got the chart over.
Yeah, bro, they was getting it. You people are destroyed. You people are destroyed, man. Our people, you Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and the rest of you Jakes out there that may be of the other, that look like the other nations, you people are destroyed. Okay? You are so far from where we're supposed to be, and you know it in your spirit. You're so far from where we're supposed to be that you don't even know that we almost about to go home. Nor do you realize that this devil's about to come down with great rain.
Exactly.
You got it, bro.
Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?
Yeah, man. It's like Jake is a natural born slave. Here it is. You're the only nation of people that celebrate your own ills.
Yep.
Amalek celebrating the freaking Holocaust. They don't celebrate that shit. They're very solemn about that whole situation.
Really
And it's exaggerated.
Yeah.
What they propagated it to be all this time. But guess what? They got paid for that.
Yeah,
They get billions of dollars after that shit, man. What you got? A free day off the plantation.
Somebody ought to work to sell these people big goodies to go Q and all this other whatnot. Somebody got to work today. But people still working today, man. This ain't as big a holiday as y'all thinking it is. A lot of Jakes are still at work.
Yeah.
Word holiday goes back to the holy day.
Holy day, exactly.
And there's nothing holy about, like you said, celebrating pretty much your own destruction.
Right.
Because our people, they celebrate their so-called holidays from their oppressors.
Exactly.
The oppressors give them their holidays. You got holy days in the scriptures that's given by Yahweh Shai for you to celebrate. But the majority of our people don't celebrate.
Right.
And that also goes into the secret council of the wicked, because they, like you said, they approve these holidays. They say, how can we use this Juneteenth shit, to make them think that they're getting a win, to make them, to put more witchcraft on them. That's all it is,
Yeah. It's basically, it's gonna put our people in a docile state, like it pacifies them. Now, I mean, it's showing you how clever this devil is. He knew to make this a national day for you on the side of the alphabet people, the alphabet mafia.
Yep.
They're celebrating, and they've always been trying to merge.
Yep. There you go.
The two.
acting like we in the same,
Yeah,
same struggle.
Yeah.
Why,
See, we, like the scriptures say in 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get advantage of us. We're not ignorant of his devices. So they got you partying and celebrating on the side of, right beside the freaking moles and the transformers Now, there's a reason why they declared that same-sex marriage in the month of June, going back when Obama was still in office. That word June, which we know is it goes back to a Roman deity, Juno. All right, which basically she was the goddess of women in marriage. So they knew to, line that up right along with the goddess of marriage. So they signed into law same-sex marriage. You see, so they gave this whole month over to these abominable people. Now we finna have the niggas celebrate along with them.
Yep. Hey, it don't matter if you understand. It don't matter if you understand. I celebrate, but not for that. You celebrate that. You put the energy into it. You celebrate for that. Unless you separate and call on the name of Yahweh Shah in a separate spirit, you celebrating into that.
Yep.
And that's true about. They didn't understand that that's true about all their so-called holidays. That's why they line up on a satanic calendar.
You against it or you with it or you against it. They ain't no in between. And you niggas are celebrating, you with it.
Hey, you permit or what you permit, you promote.
Yep.
It's simple. Everything is simplified when y'all about shooting out with shot. Is you with it or you against it, man?
Yeah, you get it. And somebody also get a book, I believe it's Isaiah, 52nd chapter, the top, the first couple of verses.
Like the word pacify from Edom online, it says to appease or to allay the anger of someone.
Allay the what the scripture says from Ecclesiastes 7. Oppression maketh the wise man mad. That's why we in here agitated, But what the next line say? But a gift destroys the heart. And what it do? It destroys your mind, keeping you away from thinking that you're being oppressed. Okay, and that's what a day like this will do for you. Same with the stimulus, same with the PPPs and all this other free money that this devil giving out right now. I wouldn't be surprised he cut all that, tonight.
When you put the word allay, it says to reduce, to diminish, to soften, or relieve, to moderate, mollify, to temper or tone down, to put to rest the anger, eliminate. It says,
let me add into that, right? What they was talking about just a couple of years ago, taking it out the curriculum.
oh, it's gone. It's already gone. It was gone when I was in school. It's out of the books.
Talking about slavery, the whole slave and voodoo, massacre of our people during that time period when the Most High had that hardcore Bible telling us. They didn't took that out the history book. This is the last anything. This is all we're gonna get. That Black History Month may not even talk about it.
Even when I was coming up 20, 30 years ago in school, they barely taught, if they would have taught slavery, it's lies. It's lies compounded into it.
Now they're bringing out the with critical race theory.
Yep.
With basically it's like shaming Edomites, for
Systemic racism.
systemic racism. It's really it's no mystery of who's on top and who's on the bottom,
Right.
And how they got there,
Right.
And
that's dumb. Like you go talk about how oppressive the system is towards a group of people and how Edomites are on top. But if you eliminate the slave history out of the school system, how else are they gonna know how it got to this point?
Right.
That's exactly what funded this whole system.
That's how America
slave labor.
That's how America got a head start on the world.
Yeah.
And able to to
Start the
Black,
Wall Street.
all of that.
Stock market.
Why do you think that's America's so powerful right now? Because of slave labor of the Israelites. I always say, imagine if a company like Amazon went for 100 years without paying none of their employees. How much wealth and power they would have.
Yeah. They just did a year with no real competition. You see what they did. Bezos shot to the top.
So we're talking about 400 plus years of free slave labor, where the products that were produced through slave labor went throughout the whole world.
Yep.
Supplied cotton for the whole world, sugar cane for the whole world.
Gold, silver.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They got that first before they, that was spread throughout the world before the slaves came over here.
Yeah, kind of. That's from the northern. I mean, yeah, the northern kingdom, what they call the encomiendas. You know, which were basically plantations for the northern kingdom, shipping that gold and silver from that river. And they had quotas just like the southern kingdom had quotas on. And the northern kingdom had quotas on gold and silver, man. You know?
And that's Micah 2 and 2. That's why I put up a video clip the other day, probably yesterday. You had this historian professor. He was basically talking about how these third world countries where Jake lived at, they're not actually poor countries. They're actually rich countries. But the people living there are poor because the rich go there and they exploit the riches of those lands. And they keep the people living there poor. That's basically what Esau did when he came over here to this side of the world. He came over here and he exploited, he raped, robbed, and murdered the people here. And then with all the merchandise and all the resources that was accumulated, he used Jake to actually distribute it and package it, process it. That's what the plantation is for, man. And then your market plantations, you got the warehouses and corporations and these manufacturing companies, distribution centers. That's your modern day plantation. And who's all in there? Mainly Jake, so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native American, man.
Ask yourself, who?
Prison. Oh, yeah, that's a whole nother one right there. 13th Amendment. How we forget that? But you want to celebrate Juneteenth?
Hey, they don't realize, just like, I ain't gonna bring that up, but they don't realize many situations that seem like we're getting W's. You know how many L's we take at the same time? They'll take five. We'll take 5 L's to get one W, and it's way more action than that because that 13th Amendment, man, that's detrimental, man. That's detrimental. That's why the cops will pull you over and just check to see if you got warrants. They know it's a beneficial business to get you in there. If they can get you on the book, I didn't see you too many times. You're doing something wrong. You making too many moves out on these streets. You happy and shit. Because take your ass to jail and work for free. What he said on life? Least the state of Mississippi got for 30 years of free labor. Or 40 years, whatever it was.
Yeah, like you said, with our people are snapping prison rules. Going back to Isaiah 42 and 22. And in those prison rules, which is, America itself is a prison house, whether it's from captivity, or even if you go down to the, like you said, the prison industrial system, our people are in there literally working for free, man. All right? And that's game. All right? That's game too, the oppressor. These wardens and these different, owners, Edomites that own these lands. All right? That's income. All right, with no outgoing. All right, just think if you just steadily taking in, with no going out, man.
They'll ship. Like sometimes, this is new to me. Like a while back, though, in California, they'll ship inmates to California Penitentiary. They'll ship their ass to Arizona, wherever they need to fill them in prisons.
And in Louisiana, up north they got the highest prison rate, basically, because up north it's number of prisons up there. Cottonport, DCI, I can name them, man. It's all the way up. So I'm pretty sure they ship them there. Angola, different. All these are known prison houses, man. But this is Wisdom of Solomon 15 and 12. But they counted our life of pastime and our time here a market for gain.
A market for gain.
But say they, we must be getting every way, though it be by evil means, man. Ooh. Down the bottom, you speak on that.
No, it said a mouthful. I mean, I don't know where to start. They must be getting in every way. They have. I got hit this, then they can break it down. It's Micah 2 that you were talking about, bro. Micah 2 and 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity, their pastime, right? It says, and work evil upon their beds. When they had dreams way back since the time of Jacob and Esau, and he wanted to slay Jacob. Esau wanted to slay Jacob. He's been having dreams of getting Jacob into the position he's in now over Jake. Okay? It says, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it. And this rhythm system is clear practice. All the Juneteenth is practice. The whole work, systemic racism is practice. This is all things thought out, man. This devil diabolical, this mad scientist went out there and put this together and even concocted it so you won't even have the strength to raise up against it. Okay, with the food you eat, the slavery level that this devil put on us is on a high level, but you won't go eat his food and celebrate on one day of the year? Really? Really? You know.
And you got any loved ones that's in the pen that'll be willing to celebrate this shit, man?
Mm-hmm.
He in slavery.
Yeah.
He ain't free.
Mm-hmm.
He can't come to the cookout.
Right. They're gonna send him a plate. That old pork and fucking pork and beans and barbecue beans and whatever the hell, potato salad. You gonna send him a plate in there? Somebody gonna make him sweet potato pie sitting in there?
I don't know if
He gonna enjoy it?
I don't know if brother's got an extra precept, but I wanted to get some information in this article that I just found.
Let me wrap this up. This is back in Micah 2. It says, when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Going back to your precept, right? It said, and they covered fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
So you got it. Just like East, if Eve was our people is the blood of this place, right? Or the oil, which is what that's the main thing that caught need. If it's out of oil, it's done.
Yeah.
So if he's sucking all the oil out, right? He's taking all the blood out of him, man. Like, what are you doing? And you're keeping it all for yourself. So he's killing Jake while simultaneously pretending to help Jake.
Jake running on fumes.
Jake, there you go. Jake is empty, trying to. This is crazy, man. What you got it out? This is crazy.
And that word oppress in the Hebrew is Ishak, and it says to press upon, oppress, violate, defraud, do violence, give deceitfully. Hey, was that Sirach 10 and 8?
Yeah.
Because of because of injuries.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. He got all this by deceit, and now he's stupid rich. You know, it says to gain wrongfully, to extort, to be exploited. Yeah, he came over here and he exploited the Americas. He went around the world and just exploited, man, and that's why he's on top right now. All right. Now, 13th Amendment, it says, passed by Congress on January 31st, 1865, and ratified on December 6th, 1865. And this was supposed to be after the emancipation, right?
Yeah.
The 13th Amendment abolished slavery in the United States. The 13th Amendment, which formally abolished slavery in the United States, passed the Senate on April 8th, 1864, and the House on January 31st. Now jumping down here, let me see. It's where it talks about, it says the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution abolished slavery and involuntary servitude, except as punishment for a crime.
So under that, you commit a crime, you go back into slavery.
Yeah.
You know?
And what did Esau do? He set up a prison industrial complex where anything that you do in this society, like it's a reason why there's a cycle. You got Jake that's just in the crime because where they live, their environment is very limited.
Yeah. Limited resources.
There's no resources there. Insignificant.
I want the word ghetto mean. You look up it mean insignificant place.
So what do Jake do? If Jake can't work, what do they look to for survival? They they resort to crime. That was systematically designed that way. So Jake end up in the system so they can go right back into slavery. All right,
And they flood the communities with drugs, guns.
you know, those were all the snares and nets that this devil set, man. So in this article, it says, this is from marketrealist.com. It says, what is prison labor? Prison labor is work that able-bodied inmates in the U.S. prison system are forced to do for minimal or non-existent pay. Both federal and state prisons use prison labor. Some organizations have estimated how much company revenue prison labor brings in each year. Yes, the low end of that estimate is $2 billion.
The lower end.
The lower end. Why do companies use prison labor? Companies use prison labor for one simple reason: to boost their bottom line. For these businesses, cheap or free labor is the foundation of their business plan.
Any drug dealer understands if I can get the drugs for free or almost for free and then sell them, it's all profit. Really?
Yeah, sell them without having to pay somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
That's for any business. They say, basically, in order to gain profit, you minimize your losses.
Yep. Yep.
Exactly.
Sometimes you cut somewhere that you've got a lot of overhead at, and that's where you make the difference in money at. I remember a commercial. It was out of UPS, the Postal, one of these companies like that, DHL, something like that. It was like a nickel. I found a nickel, and he was like, people always like, so? Like, I found a nickel. Go to the boss. Hey, boss, I found a nickel. He said, okay, was it yours? He goes, no, I found a nickel for the company. He goes, what nickel? He said, we can save a nickel per every shipment that we do if we do X, Y, Z, whatever it was. He was like, over 1 billion business, transactions we do. That's brilliant. You'll save us billions. Oh, they laughed, and but that's the truth. Just a nickel of cutting that off. So imagine when you barely paying anybody and you're getting all this income. Bro,
If that,
bro.
And that's why also America has the lowest population of people with the largest prison incarceration rate, right?
Yep.
Why? Because they know, so they implement particular laws for Jake, squeeze Jake in, right? And implement particular laws for him, so he automatically by default go to what? Go to jail.
Yeah.
That means you go to jail, I don't have to pay you if you work a job.
Yeah.
You see,
That's the same thing that you were going to during the 13th Amendment. They said if you commit a crime, you go back to jail, right? During that time when they freed the slaves, they didn't have nowhere to go, but they put laws out there like loitering laws.
Yep.
And then if you just hanging out, you're gonna go to jail.
You're gonna go to jail for that.
They're sharecropping. Jake didn't have their own land after that so-called law was created. So what did they do? They stayed on the plantation and made deals to work, and got what? And it was even worse.
They did all the work.
Yeah, because they did the work and still didn't get no produce, or got the worst end of it.
I got the word crown in this evidence. And online at the Mali, you want to come finish off how it comes. He says the mid 13th century, sinfulness, infraction of the laws of our power, our crime, mortal sin. It says charge, indictment, accusation, crime, or fault, offense. But I want to get to this: to decide, to sift, to see, thus discriminate. So, you want
No. It's just going to this. But you got it.
right. So, all right, you got it.
So I want to say this real quick. I looked up, and we'll get back to the article too, but I want to go into a little bit of this in a moment. But I pulled up the Willie Lynch letter, which the top line in this, like they have it regular printed, but then I'm gonna read, when I get to it, I'm gonna read all the bold letter. The first bold letter is method for controlling your black slaves. And that goes into making them criminals. Part of this in here is dividing them up, which is sift, right?
Yep.
For distrust. So now even the people just automatically distrust you when they see So they automatically got you suspicious of a crime. And if you don't have a reason to be there, loitering laws, that's not a law. Cause I stop right here. Cause I'm in the shade.
Kind of, well, like you said too, because you brought up crime, and you said a sift,
Yeah.
and another word for sift is a filter.
Yeah.
You know, because what Esau already has pre-labels on Jake, man.
Discriminate.
Exactly.
What's that, right?
God.
That's why he keeps a record on
A
that.
record.
Yeah. He got a record. Ray got a rap sheet, a record, a mile long, little ass shit, man.
Let me read this real quick.
Uh,
This is Psalms 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth by a law?
what's that?
Yeah, fucking Juneteenth. What about the 13th Amendment?
You
What
think?
about the 14th
How about we do
Amendment?
away with those?
What about those?
That's something to
still in the
celebrate for.
Constitution.
You still 3/5. That's
Niggas
it.
over here, you know? Niggas, bro. And it's interesting because the music that Jake have that keeps them influenced,
Yep,
it keeps them influenced in that criminal behavior.
here it is.
Esau knows exactly what he's
It
doing.
is.
He knows what artists to
God.
market and put out there and give them spins, make them hot, put them on the charts because he's gonna continue to perpetuate that lifestyle to Jake. And Jake, that's all they know. That's all that's being drilled into their mental.
What I just did a video on this. What other music pushes this type of lyrical content? It's hard to call it lyrical content, but spiritual content, should I say? There's not another genre of music that plays this type of spiritual content on such a particular group. Okay.
When like hip hop, but Public Enemy and those type of
Conscious.
or whatever, they were talking about
Political.
fight the power, and that was out. Okay, that was cool. But then that gangster rap shit came out with Easy and
Yeah.
that just took over. Said because we know Esau controls it, so Esau is gonna push what is gonna push his narrative more, push his agenda more. So they're gonna push that gangster rap shit. Kill and steal and
Gang banging.
all that shit.
What came out after that? You getting a key element to this.
The trap music, drug dealer,
Drug dealer.
yeah.
What do you think the white tee was about? The long white tee with the pants. That was because they was hiding drugs
It
in
was
there.
like gangster shit,
All
trap
that.
shit.
Yep.
And now
same
I
thing.
was just fucking bugged out popping pills and shit,
Yep.
This is part of it. Is Proverbs 4:16, for they sleep except they have done mischief,
Mhm.
and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall, or they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence.
You know why? Because they have to make sure that their rulership is continually established. Or to say the inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. So they are always constantly, they know what the prophecies say that it's going to end one day. So they were like, hold on, we're going to do everything in our power to prolong that or to stop it. In this market, it's a lot. I'll tell you. This MOB is going to be that final straw that's supposed to solidify them in rulership forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, and they know that their kingdom is established as long as Jake is in sin. As long as Jake is going off from their the Most High, Esau will always have that advantage.
Right. Because the scriptures say it caused them to fall. How are they doing that? Through their wiles, through their methods, man. Through their when they go into the councils of the wicked, man. That's when they're coming up with those plans in order to destroy you.
Right.
This back in the article, it says these businesses cheap or free labor is the foundation of their business plan. In fact, private prisons are some of the most active proponents of policies that keep prisons full. This is because they need people to perform the work that brings in money. Ultimately, full prisons are a job market incentive.
Anytime you buy something routinely that's always on sale, and then it finally go off sale, you notice. That's pretty much the same type of idea when Jake was supposed to be free and they was still getting the labor, but not if they had to pay. They was like, oh, we gotta find a way to get that sale back. We need the coupon. And writing this up was their coupon to say that we can get the free labor again, or low, labor prices again.
It says corporations tend to distance themselves from the prison labor they rely on by subcontracting their work to companies who go on to contract labor from the prisons. What are some companies that use prison labor? More than 4,100 companies in the U.S. profit from mass incarceration.
4,100. Nike, you Jakes, man, Nike and Jordan, they getting paid. Hey, they gonna list some?
Yeah.
Okay, contact. Yep.
It says, but some are companies who rely on penal labor to manufacture goods or provide services. Around 63 prisoners produce goods for external sale. It says Verizon and Sprint use inmates to provide telecommunication services. Kmart and JCPenney use inmate labor in Tennessee to make denim products. Walmart, we already know about Walmart. Walmart uses prison labor to clean barcodes so products can be resold.
They don't even give at Walmart. They don't even give you any type of health or any of that. You gotta be like in upper management. You just have to working in. If you're working in the store, you're really not getting any benefits or anything unless you're in a managerial position. There's no job security, no union, none of that. When they just going in about was it Amazon and about that? Yeah.
Well, meanwhile, Jeff Bezos want to go to the
moon and shit. Yeah, all that extra money he got.
It says some cheese and fish from Whole Foods comes from prison labor. Circuit boards from IBM come from Texas prisoners. Wendy's and McDonald's use prison labor to process beef for their food products.
If I could also add, wages are not even taxable.
Yeah.
You're supposed to tax income.
Yeah.
Right? So you're supposed to be taxing the companies.
Yeah.
They are taxing wages. That's why we have to get what? They basically give us an income tax. Right? Now think about free labor. If you're taxing people who are making wages, which are us, all right, think about what the money you're bringing in or accumulating of people who you're not even giving them any wages. So everything that they're getting is profit, right? That's double, triple profit, quadruple profit, whatever you want to add, man.
Keep working harder and doing like good shit.
That's how they are so what? Wealthy, right? Well, got by vanity is crazy, man.
Yeah. And the crazy part is that our people don't see it. They so blinded in Juneteenth and simple shit. They already trying to make plans on 4th of July. That ain't for your victory.
It seems like all this, obviously Juneteenth comes up every year, but they want to push this heavy when Black Lives Matter is getting exposed.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter is getting exposed. People leaving Black Lives Matter, and then all of a sudden, we got Juneteenth.
We making progress.
Yeah.
No.
See, that's why the scriptures say our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
They do all this stuff, they wouldn't be out there like that. They wouldn't be happy with this shit, man. They would find this actually insulting, man.
It is
embarrassing. And embarrassing.
Yeah, it is insulting.
We were just talking about before we started the live how the Jakes down there in Galveston, Texas, when June 19th, 1866, they had to be told that they were free. Even though they were free two years before that.
Yeah.
They didn't even know that they was free, man.
And the spiritual part about it is they had to be told by Esau.
Yeah.
That they were free.
I'm gonna get 2 more crops out there.
Yeah, Jake would tell them, and they said, no, I don't believe it. It's the same thing with the truth. It's like we tell you see it coming from someone that looks like you come from the same neighborhood, and you don't believe it. But if a damn Edomite was up there telling you that you're the people of the Most High, repent, it's the name. You see it coming from someone that looks like you come from the same neighborhood, and you don't believe it. But if a damn Edomite was up there telling you that you're the people of the Most High, repent, it's the names of his son, y'all be all for it.
Right. That slave mentality, man. Yeah. Judge O'Brown, he
brought that out.
He brought the whole history out. And he made me go search. It was this TV show
Oh, yeah.
Based off this book that this Edomite wrote, and this was like during after the Civil
Yeah,
War.
yeah.
But you had in this fucking this little, what was it, like a
Cartoon.
like a little cartoon.
Yeah.
But you had this
right
old
now.
happy-go-lucky
Uncle
slave
Remus.
ass Uncle Remus.
Uncle Remus.
Bro.
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch that shit on YouTube. That shit was that was such a fucking embarrassment, man. Like this dude is literally like singing,
What's it?
Zoopity dee,
Yeah.
Zoopity doo dies.
Yeah.
He's not happy that he's actually free. That's a fucking slave, man. That's the slave, bro. You know?
Well-trained slave.
Well-trained slave. You singing because you're a happy slave. You're happy where you at. Hey, you modern niggas, y'all happy to be here.
Hey,
Y'all love this shit.
Y'all love popping pills. Y'all don't even think about why you popping. Like the conditions of life is why you popping. You don't even consider that. You don't even consider what you had to do to even get in position to start talking about that shit on radio. What you have to bend, kill, whatever messages you got to push, and negativity and wickedness that you have to push out to be in the music industry in the first place, to put out that terrible ass music to our people. There's a movie, y'all might have seen it, Middle Avenue. You've seen that, right? You remember that before, right? So in the beginning of the movie, when they was young, they watched the neighborhood, everybody knew each other, it was everything good. Over the course, they became kingpins in the neighborhood, whatever, right? Over the time, now they damn near get robbed themselves. That's how bad the drugs they put on the street have corrupted the neighborhood. That's where our people are at. How much more do our people need to be destroyed before we realize we're feeding into the system that's destroying our people?
Isaiah 30:12. Wherefore thus said the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon.
Read that again, Bob.
Isaiah 30:12. Wherefore thus said the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon. Therefore,
Now you think about it, it said you trust in oppression. You're getting oppressed every day that you live here. You're not getting, paid what you really deserve for your work. You're getting taxed out the ass. Like Rule 3 and 8, we're subject to payments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you still treated like a second-class citizen, even though you helped your ancestors built this motherfucker, man. You're getting poor treatment. Your enemies are still triumphant over you, and then they're making you celebrate days that you actually was taking L's, man. You celebrate your own ass whoopings. He make you celebrate them, man.
My favorite videos to watch about this topic is when you see Jake that think they made it, a judge, a military, police, when they get pulled over, black, I'm talking about Jake, black, Hispanic, whatever, when they get pulled over by a white officer and treated like they're not a part of the system. I love to see that shit because it's a reality check, man. You still a nigga. I don't care who you work for. I work for you. I don't care. I'm gonna oppress you and make you feel like shit today.
And your taxpaying money is paying me no pressure.
You paying into it for your man.
Yeah.
That's how diabolical this devil really is, man. You don't want to be free from this? No.
The scriptures say you trust this shit.
Yeah.
Because you trust in oppression and perverseness. Now you're celebrating side by side with these rainbow people. That's nothing but perversion.
The word trust means to have confidence, to be confident, to be bold, to be secure, to cause to trust, make secure, to feel safe, be careless.
You and Isaiah 30.
Isaiah 47. Know that dwelleth careless.
You and Isaiah 30, right? Jump to 34.
Oh, that word stay. Look up that word stay.
No, 36.
I got it.
You already got it. 36.
The word stay is shayam, which means to lean on, trust in, support.
work.
Hey,
You gotta
Biden,
get that.
Yeah,
Biden,
look at that word Biden when he got
Biden.
inaugurated. Yeah, it literally, that's what it literally means, man.
Confide. That's the
Confide, trust. Y'all put y'all trust in this devil, man.
Get that Isaiah 36, somebody.
We can't forget about the crime bills.
Man, that he wrote in.
That's why they called him Jim Crow Joe.
Yep.
The same devil that put y'all in this, he's gonna be the one to declare the national holiday for you.
Oh, because he's changed, huh? Can an Ethiopian change his skin? Leopard change his spots? Here it is. Here it is.
Fucking joke,
man. The Most High created all these people, man. So you think he don't know the minds of these people? Think he ain't got it locked in his word? Come on now. Somebody hit that precept for the
Isaiah 36:6. Oh, thou trustest in this staff of this broken reed.
He said that word, the same word trust. I think it's the same literal Hebrew word. Go ahead.
On Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it.
It's going to be a worse situation to trust in this system. Continue.
So is Pharaoh king of Egypt to all that trust in him.
Keep abiding with Biden and see what's going on. Keep abiding with Egypt, aka Babylon, aka America, and see what it's going to end with. Stay away from. Continue to stay away from Yahweh outside and watch what happens. Okay, you people truly understand what you're getting yourself into, and I mean they was in there. The pork was pretty much low. There was plenty of chicken, plenty of beef. And barbecue if they ain't grilling pork.
Yeah. They would got the feet.
Man.
They got the head.
They had all that in there. I think I saw a bucket of chitlins in there.
Tested.
What is it
called?
Lamb, that's the shoulder, pork shoulders.
No lamb, all the lamb in there.
Yeah.
They're untouched. It's expensive. Well, you're damn right, it's expensive. It's not a coincidence. This is how diabolical. When he go to sleep, he was like, we need to make this nasty ass pork shit. We need to make it the cheapest meat to keep them eating this shit. Because they don't make enough. They wouldn't, Jake would think meat is the end all be all. If I don't have meat, I ain't living.
Yeah.
So they gotta have something, and nothing tastes better than my pork.
Yeah, especially Esau knows how to, keep our people going off, so he can complain to the Most High, say, "Oh, look at your people going off." You know what I mean? Because what's that in Jeremiah 30? So that if you, the Lord said, if you can search out the heavens,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
the rest of the earth,
Yeah.
I cast away my people.
Yeah.
So Esau knows, knows the law, and he knows how to keep our people going strictly going off, because he wants to, he wants to keep that dominance.
That's what keeps him up. That's what keeps him up, man. As long as we're in sin with transgression, the nations, they know that they can have their way with us. The Lord got his face turned. Was that Judah, the 5th chapter we always bring out? Like they know, the nations they know.
Yeah.
And then he accused us to the Father day and night.
They killing us. They killing the comments, bro.
Yeah.
They got some good ones.
So Judah 5:17, whilst they sinned not before their power, they prospered, because the power Yahweh that hated iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies.
Yep. And that goes back to that, when you read that in Exodus, the 23rd chapter, when the Lord basically told us, if you keep my word, if you hearken into my word and be obedient, I will be an adversary to your adversary. But on the flip side, you transgress,
I will sin.
and I'm gonna have your enemies. They're gonna rule over you.
They were prevail over.
Yeah,
And you see that all through the book of Kings, man, and Judges.
Yep. And Israel did evil, and Israel did evil in the sight of the Most High. They don't even say what. They just said they did evil in the sight of you. Went off at all. I gotta hit a couple of these precepts real quick. Oh, my fault, my fault.
Finish
My
that.
fault.
It's continue this 19. It says, but now are they returned to their power and are come up from the places where they were scattered and have possessed Jerusalem.
And see, and this is what puts fear on Esau, seeing us actually return, coming back to our heritage, acknowledging our offenses, reclaiming our nationality, our culture, calling upon the name of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. That's why it says that in Revelation 11, fear came upon them which saw them when we stood upon our feet. That breath entering into us. That's the reason why you got the likes of Agag, Haman the Agagite reincarnated, Vocab, and these other nations coming against the Israelites.
I was just gonna say, because there's nothing worse about it. When Black consciousness and all these other Black Panthers and all, and it's like, okay, it's something Black Panthers, but nobody was really worried about that. They infiltrated that pretty quickly and pretty easy. But this is something different. Like, we ain't doing nothing but reading the Bibles out on the street. But this is the worst organization. They can't demonize it completely, but they're looking to do it.
They can't demonize reading out the same book that they read out.
Yeah.
You know?
But we it down, it makes way more sense. And we got way more content and understanding out of this book. Proving that we the people of the book. Yep.
It says,
Read down the last.
says, but now are they returned to their power and are come up from the places where they were scattered and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country before it was desolate. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
Hey, we got advantage over them as long as they're going off from their higher power. Man, it's fair game, and we can get them. You know, and that's what it's always been. Right.
21 says, but if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their power Yahweh before them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
Yeah, and the He's going to defend us again. You see that his elect is actually, coming back together. We're all being gathered throughout the four corners of the earth by the word of the Holy One.
And see, there's the difference. Right there it says the whole nation, but the elect represent the whole nation.
Right now,
If you go into the new covenant in Hebrews the 8th chapter, I have now received a more excellent ministry established upon better promises. It don't have to be all the whole entire nation. Just this remnant is good enough on this go around to save the whole nation. Okay? So it don't matter what you do to the 2/3. Oh well. When the elect come back, hey, that's what you should be in fear of, and they are. Send Agent Rise around. You may have him take care of it. You can't overthrow this thing.
Hey, this is Acts 5. From these men, let them alone.
Yep.
This counsel for this work be men that shall come to naught, but if it be of Yahweh Shai, you may not overthrow it, lest ye happily be found to fight against the Most High.
And you already got 7,000 men that will not bow their knee to the wow. That's why when days like this happens, we ain't finna turn up. We agitated like a motherfucker, man. 4th of July come, we agitated like a motherfucker. We ain't finna be out there with the fireworks and grilling and all that shit.
The sparkling and shit.
We might get a little plate if we hungry.
Yeah.
But outside of that, fuck no, we ain't with our soul ain't with this place, man. We ain't with this world. You know? The Lord brought us out of this world a long time. We're dead to this world.
Right.
All right. So hey, you Jakes out there, you gonna be on your own, man. All right, that was it, right?
You could scroll through some of these comments and sum up a little bit. We're getting some up. You feel like we just glance over.
God, there's a Wisdom of Solomon 5, because we talking about, hey, that's coming back. And this goes along with this holiday that Jake is celebrating. There's Wisdom of Solomon 5 at the top. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors.
Yep.
Hey, even with this whole Juneteenth thing, man. Hey, Esau still ain't made no account of the labors that Jacob put in, man. Hey, cause what, we built this place up.
I was gonna say, if you were to give the was it ADOS, if the ancient descendants of slaves or whatever it's called, whatever they did, if you actually gave reparations, you wouldn't have nothing left for yourself. You got to give it all away.
You got to take out your own people.
Yeah, and
What
you
about the
got.
Why you ain't giving Galaxies no day?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you know,
gave them that.
ain't give them nothing.
You don't give Mexico back.
Esau's sins is so high.
Yeah. He can't turn back now.
It's nothing you can do to make it better, Esau.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no money, no reparations. You can give us a whole damn year as a holiday. It's not gonna. You know.
That's why the Lord got 1,000 years.
Yeah.
For this devil to have to serve.
Mm-hmm. Double,
man.
Double under this one. 500 years of this one, you got to do double of that.
Yeah, man. Revelation 13, 9 and 10, man. He that leaveth the captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth the sword must be killed with the sword. Yeah.
1 and 2.
Isaiah 14 and 1 and 2. And that's when we're gonna finally pursue into our Psalms 147, it's like in 149, let the saints be joyful in their beds. That's when we really gonna celebrate. When we finally got you devils under our feet, when we finally got that scepter, that iron rod, and we beat you to shivers, man. That's when we gonna finally rejoice, man. Okay? What the hell is Juneteenth? Celebrating on the plantation for? We ain't gonna celebrate until we get in the chariot, man.
That's right.
That's what the celebration is gonna be.
We mad at Eve, but we mad at you 2/3, man. We mad at you Jakes, man, more.
Hey, Israel keep this man up.
Yeah. Keep this dude in power. You cross the picket line all damn day. It's what this is.
Yeah.
Another low point in Black history.
Yo, Juneteenth, another low point in Black history.
Juneteenth in Pride Month.
Yeah.
Yo.
You 2/3 gonna know, and the king went off. You're gonna be ashamed.
Yeah.
You got some. You want to hit a couple steps? Let's see, it is.
Some of them probably didn't bounced out already.
Yeah, they ain't reading my precepts.
I'll read this one. Occupy till I come.
Yep.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 10, Sirach. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humbleth himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rusts have not been altogether wiped away.
And I always enjoy breaking this one down because you understand on a looking glass, a mirror. So it says, though take good heed and beware of him, and he shall be unto you as if you looked into a mirror. Basically, you understand him like you know yourself. And this is nothing but another ploy. What they say, never let a good crisis go to waste, right? They know this doesn't seem like a crisis. He's going to use this against you. Nothing this devil does is just strictly for your benefit. It's always going to end up to be for your detriment. You got it.
He always want his money back.
The spirit, brother. He always wants his money back. He'll give you something, but believe me, he's going to take more. What it say further down in that chapter, the next chapter, he looking how to throw thee into a pit. Is that it? Is it coming up?
It's further down.
Yeah, in that chapter. You looking it up?
Also the one in Sirach 14 where it says, if he do it good, he do it
willingly. Yep.
But at the end, he will declare his wickedness.
It is. The Most High has this devil pinned the blueprint on this devil. He created him. He knows exactly what he's got in him and what he's gonna do. And that's why we have a leg up on everybody on spying out this devil, man, and our own people. Okay?
Read that wrong.
Yeah, whoever
read all the way down and just go to point 6.
You get to the point.
All right, this is Sirach, Ecclesiastes 12 and 16. and an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips,
This declaration is a sweet speaking declaration. Go ahead.
but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit.
And a lot of you Jakes about to go to jail for fraud, man.
Yeah.
A lot of you Jakes about to get thrown. Y'all about to get thrown in that prison industrial complex for fraud.
Bro,
Free labor.
Jake at work told me that they still going after people for 9/11 fraud. It was some kind of benefits they were giving for people to 9/11.
Still getting that.
They still, and
That don't mean they behind.
Yeah.
I mean, they still going after.
So that was 20 years ago. So don't think that, I mean, this place ain't got 20 more years, but don't think that
He ain't gonna
start recouping that money.
He gonna send that tab out.
Yeah.
He gonna make you come pay that tab.
You gonna want to see some paperwork. You gonna want to see some
What
check stubs
the
or
scripture
something.
say? Revelation 12:12, right? Because he knows he had, but it's the what I was doing. But the wrath part say, the devil will come down and great wrath, for he knows he had but a short time. He gotta hurry up and collect this, because he ain't gonna get down and great wrath, for he knows he had but a short time. He gotta hurry up and collect this, because he ain't gonna get his money. He ain't got a lot of time left. He know what time it is, man. He know he gotta execute his overall master plan, before his run out. We getting close.
He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
And who better than crime bill, Jim Crow?
Opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
And who better than crime bill, Jim Crow Joe? The last Dixiecrat, yellow dog Dixiecrat. Who better than him? Because he got you pinned. He said he knows what did Joe Brown say? He knows the Negro better than anybody, or something like that. I forgot how he said it. Basically, he knows how to figure you out and to punish you and to appease you and do all of that. He tapped in, and y'all fell for it. The first, he was the vice president of the so-called first black president, and now he's the president. Watch what he do. Watch. We still early in the game. It ain't been 120 days. Give me a chance.
He systematically set a trap and walk away from it.
Yeah.
Because our own people, by default, entrap and ensnare themselves.
Yeah.
So he don't have to basically set the trap and watch it. It's already set up out here, man.
Yep.
Right here in Jake, when you go into Jeremiah 2, Jake procured his own ways unto himself, man.
Mm-hmm.
By snaring himself. This Proverbs 14, what is that? You finished?
No, go ahead.
This Proverbs 14 and 10. It says the heart knoweth its own bitterness. Now our people should by default know what brings jail to them, debt, all right, distress. Your heart's supposed to know that. But what our people do, constantly be engaged in it. Because all you our people says, man, I don't want to die. I would rather live through anything, but doing everything to die.
Yep.
Everything that all their ways bring about death into them. But all they ever says, I don't want to die. It says, the heart knoweth its own bitterness, and the stranger do not intermeddle it with his joy. And our people constantly play with their joy, their peace. Because Jake go to jail, and then he won't be a Muslim. He won't get right now, right? But his main goal was like, man, I understand what I was doing now. The things you was doing was bitter unto yourself.
Before you did it.
Yeah, before you did it. But you still intermeddled with that, which caused what? Agony to your joy now, man. Or your little peace of mind you do have in hell, all right?
That's exactly right.
Jake grew.
Yeah. A lot of your misery, Jake, is self-inflicted.
Self-inflicted.
It is.
Beautiful, bro.
Self-inflicted. That's why you're stiff-necked people.
Yeah.
It's Sodom's children, man. The Most High, he get frustrated with Jake.
Which one?
Jeremiah.
I'm gonna get the one in
He been offered the food, son of the heart of his neck shall be destroyed without remedy. Without remedy. Like it's gonna be raw, uncut, man. The Lord ain't giving you no mercy in that. Meaning basically you ain't getting no mercy, man. All right, because why? You ain't showing Our 2/3 of our people, they don't show mercy to their own self, man.
Yeah.
Jake, I was at work before I came down here. Jake uncle hit his car by accident. He went to a man that fixed his car in the hood and told him the man said, all right, it's $500. He went back to his uncle and told his uncle it's $1,000 to fix it. And he came and asked the man, and he said, but this my cousin do. And
Wow.
you know, he went and asked the mechanic who fixed the car. He said it's 1,000. It just was a scratch in the back. It was, you know, bad as something. He said, man, I told him it was 500. It just all Jake just all over. Jake hurt his own self.
That's usury.
That's usury.
And that was family.
That was family. And that's what he said. He said, but that's my cousin. The mechanic man said, so I mean, y'all work that out of y'all.
Yeah.
Then he's saying like it don't matter if it's cousin. Everybody's wicked. Amongst, you know, they all wicked with each other.
I got something. Who was reading this? You got something?
Now I was thinking that he who was
Evil to himself, to whom will he be
Yeah,
good?
you go to God.
I got one real quick. Let me hit this. Hosea 4:1. Yeah, 4:1. It says, "Hear the words of the Lord, ye children of Israel, for the Lord Yahweh hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land. By swearing and lying, and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood touches blood." I mean, does he know our people or what? Right? I'm gonna jump down to 6. It says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also," and that's that. You said our people know in their heart what's right and what's wrong, but they still do the wrong anyway. Like choice, like it's the right choice. Yeah, that bitterness. It says, "I will, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. Thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children." So yeah, we've been going through this, getting destroyed all the way down since we went off. And it's been thousands of years at this point. So how much more is this last ass whooping? The Heavenly Father's tired of punishing us, man. He's tired of this, man. He's like, damn, these people never gonna do right. I'm gonna have to change the game to make them do right.
Yeah.
Which is the new covenant. I have to force it into them. I have to put it into them to make them do it right.
That's why it says in Jeremiah 5, why should you be stricken anymore?
Yep. The whole head is sick.
You revolt more and more.
Yep.
So that's why objective trouble is going to be the worst thing Jake has ever experienced as a people. But it's necessary. It has to happen, man.
Right.
You know, it's just pent up of, you know, Jake going to hell off. So the Most High, like, all right, this is the last time that I'm gonna fuck your shit.
I
promise you ain't gonna.
I promise you. And then I'm gonna set your ass after that.
Hey, if you had a whipping like that, I promise you I'm gonna beat brakes off. Most High's on that level. You ain't never gonna forget this ass whooping. That when they tighten the belt around their hand, you like, ah shit, this is the one. You see the other parents and shit of the family members winding theirs up. Like, oh.
They said Joe Jackson.
Joe Jackson has whooping, man. It's gonna make you famous after this.
I got it. Jeremiah 4:22. My people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sightless children.
They have not known the Most High. They believe every other deity but the one that's really that they identify and connect with. This should have been instant on our people. That as soon as they heard about the mentality of Yahweh and Yahweh Shah, they should have been, oh, this is for us. Our people reject this. That's the people we have the hardest time in conversation, just trying to give them the word. Yeah.
And they have no understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
They are wise to do evil. That's what you were going to. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they don't know how to do it. Jay go in the store and don't know when to do what. Don't know what aisles to shop on and what ones not to. Pork was way less pork in the store. All them people in there, way less pork in the store than beef, lamb, and chicken. And everybody know everybody in the world love chicken.
Yeah.
They in Winco, they had a separate, a separate frozen little section with just all chicken.
Yeah, but Jay loved the baby back ribs.
Yeah, they love that, man. They love all that.
Yeah. It's all good because at the end of the day, this world is gonna pass away, right? It's gonna be a great reset, and in the kingdom, we ain't gonna be celebrating the oppressors' triumph days.
Right.
We're gonna go back to keeping our high holy days. You ain't gonna get it right, man.
We're gonna have a new high holy day.
Hell yeah.
For the destruction of Babylon.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, half the high holy days that we do keep is based off of us getting the victory over our enemies.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we celebrate, man.
Yep.
Juneteenth, that wasn't a victory.
That's a loss.
You was not free. You was just translated. Emancipation. And Abraham Lincoln, he didn't care about it. He even said if he can what he said about if he can save the Union without freeing a slave, he would. They try to hype up Abraham Lincoln's ass.
The Emancipation Proclamation was written in
1863.
63, but they didn't wait. It didn't go into effect until
65.
What you was waiting on?
Yeah.
Real shit, man.
Waiting to see if you can still hold on to them.
Yeah.
And then with the Union, they even had Jakes that was able to fight in their armies, military
Against the South.
But when they had wars in the civil wars, they made sure that those Union Jakes in the army, they would have them stationed where they would be more vulnerable to attacks. They would put them literally on the front lines.
Yep.
To make sure that a lot of niggas were casualties.
And there's movies like Glory.
I was just about to say that, bro.
You know, right? Like Glory that, we just want to fight.
Yeah.
They're just happy to Morgan Freeman and all. They're just happy to fight. What year was Nat Turner? What was that? They was 1800s, right?
Yeah,
What war was that? Remember how
Civil War?
in the 1800s?
Yeah.
So right, so we right on target with it. Yeah. Remember that little boy that batted him out, right?
Bro,
He ended up in the war, fighting for who?
Hey, he's back today.
Yeah, that nigga back today.
Shit, even World War II,
Oh,
they wouldn't let you drink shoot no weapons. Man.
Yep.
They used just cooks and basically stewards.
World War II.
To the officers.
Yep.
Washing clothes and shit, peeling potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Esau just had you do that. He didn't want you to fight, against the enemy, using guns and stuff.
These niggas in the plane or something, they getting flew away. Shout out something.
Yeah.
What he said on Django, if my daddy would have gave me that razor, I'd have slit his neck the first time. It would have took me, how 20 years to do it or whatever.
Kind of like Ray Gibson and
Yeah.
Light.
I'm glad you didn't get that there. I'd have shot you. Man, what happened to our people with that mentality? This Juneteenth is the opposite of understanding who your oppressor is and trying to get free from it. Trying to be liberated. Okay? Who got something? I got a couple of them that I didn't get.
Go ahead,
I got this is back in Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with the sword destruction.
And that going back to the curse.
Yep.
The souls of thy feet shall have no rest.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you here in Babylon the Great, you will not have rest. You will not be. That's why we're waiting on the deliverance of Yahweh Shai. That's when we're going to be free.
Right.
He's coming back to rescue us from this big ass prison. All right. That's why when you read in Revelation, when we finally go into the ships, we're going to be praising Yahweh Shai.
And singing the song of Moses.
We're going to be singing the song of Moses. And what happened with that? When the Lord brought the Egyptians down, we saw what the Lord did to them. We came out of there, and we actually sung. You know, we was singing about the victory that we just got.
It wasn't that, what do we want?
Right.
Wasn't that old equality?
Yeah.
Well, none of that shit.
But then you still had niggas after that that still wanted to go back.
Yeah. If the Most High, if it had not been for the Most High for Yahweh Shai, to institute Yahweh Shai and the law of Yahweh Shai, if you will, to get us with this better ministry, these niggas will never make it. For one. For two, to the new covenant of writing the laws in us, we would never get right. We would literally never get out of captivity. And as long as this has been, it's been 2,000 years since Yahweh Shai has been on the scene. Okay? So, but that is still small in the scheme of eternity. This is going to be eternal where we're going. Jay can't even see like that. Jay can't see moving out of the hood.
Their mindset is too compartmentalized.
Duh. Slave
I
mentality.
called for it earlier, Isaiah 52 and 1 and 2. They're still captive mentally. They can't see, having their own planet,
Right. Right.
having servants,
owning
land. You know what I'm saying? Drinking fresh water, not living, house to house, joined, house to house together, living in a fucking apartment, 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom apartment, man.
Yeah, that's how you could decipher between who was the king
Yep.
and who was the two
Servants.
servants. Or the servant.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in Israel, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because they still want the ones who, like you said, they can't. Their mental capacity is just blocked. They don't understand the kings think on a higher level than the servants or those that's under them.
Yeah.
So why there are particular men in the earth that's thinking in royalty like this, or for immortality, or looking towards these things? You haven't been a what? You haven't been a part of that. No, like you. Other than that, you would just have the mentality of just being where you at, and not more. You can't even expand mentally. They can't do it. Just being where you at, and not more. You can't even expand mentally. They can't do it. That's why they don't do it, because they can't do it. Mentally.
John 8:32. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
That's plain. And it's what a conglomerate of all the things that come with it: immortality, dominion, rulership, right?
The 2/3 don't got a rulership.
Dominion, rulership, right?
The 2/3 don't got a rulership mentality.
Exactly. They can't think like kings because they're not.
What was the first scripture we started with? Jeremiah 2?
They what?
Homeborn slaves?
Homeborn slaves.
Why is he spoiled?
You can't break that.
Can't get out of it, man.
They can't break the curse, man. It's a generational curse, which we understand that we in captivity, but we haven't succumbed to it. The Lord said in Colossians that I'm gonna give you a peace that passes all understanding. Well, what that mean? Because boy, wait a minute, it goes a little bit past understanding, though. Yeah, we have that peace or that understanding. We got comfort now. So now even the things that we know, it invigorates us to what? Constantly pushing the door. Like we know this, but for a moment, we know we're in captivity, right? We know it's key service on earth, and servants walking. Servants on horses and walking the earth. Sure, a little pressing make a wise man mad, but though we still endure. We don't give up and be like, hey, we got clowns laid up for us.
We don't see the light at the end of the tunnel.
There you go.
With you.
The Lord also said that in the latter of our captivities, we shall remember ourselves.
There it is.
You breaking the chain of captivity. Because if you never break the chain of captivity, how then can you remember yourself? It's impossible. That's why they can't go past where they think they thought past.
You remember in that person's state.
Yeah.
Remember that royal mind that you once had.
I will. You got it.
Hey, Sirach 14 and 1, 2. Blessed is he whose heart has not condemned him. Condemnation is a stranglehold on your mental, on your spirit. That's your spirit. They have a stranglehold on their spirit, man, which their oppressor is in full control of. He's a puppet master on, right?
Was that dope boy or Boys in the Hood that said that in the movie? I ain't shit. I ain't gonna beat you.
I ain't gonna never. So think of his actions, dude. Think of his actions, the things that he do. We don't gotta see him. Just think of his mindset, because your mindset is on full display, right? That's why you see the men of the Lord mindset on going to camp, keep these high holy days. They have a what? A way. Because there's a way that seems right to a man, but the end thereof is the ways of death. Y'all got it, right?
It's John 3:18. He that believeth on is not condemned.
Not what?
Condemned.
Yeah.
But he that believeth not is condemned already.
Is what?
Is condemned already.
How can you get out of condemnation? At least the Lord put you out. That's why he said the election of God, but the rest were blinded. They can't get it. They blinded by the what? The prince of this world.
Yeah.
They can't. They already lost, set up for death. They got the gospel is here. And if you don't have the gospel or this true light, you can't think past go now. You can't go. Your thoughts can't surpass. It's like the waves that the Lord put a bound to. He put a bound to their thoughts. They gonna be in a realm of thoughts and all them niggas look alike. That's why all their actions are the same. They all killing each other. They all commit adultery. They all stealing from each other. They all thoughts are running in a circle around. You put a dog in a cage, he's only gonna be in that cage. You got it right. You got it.
You said a lot, bro.
I got it. You got it.
Yeah.
You got that? You get that.
Isaiah 52:1. Awake, awake, put on that strength, O Zion. Put on that beautiful garments, O Jerusalem.
You know, this garment represents this knowledge.
Right. Because that's the royal guard, you know, which goes back to the armor as well. You have to be suited up. Hey, same when we always go into that word soldier, which goes back to solo, man. Hey, you're prepared and ready for the battle, man. Because what? You've been prepped. Hey, a king doesn't just become to be in a position of a king. He's bred through that, man. Hey, we're bred through the spirit, man. Bred to be what? To be kings. Or whatever those men. Hey, it was a preparation process. We always talk about what? Hey, that what we have to understand the evil, the bad, to appreciate the righteous and to be judges upon the earth, man. This is a breeding process, man. To be in a position to sit on that 12 thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right. Put on that beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city. For henceforth there should no more come and clean. Shake yourself from
the dust. Come up out of that confusion, man. You've been in a confused state for too goddamn long. All right? It's time to come back to the light, man. We're kings in exile.
Right.
Hastening to be loose.
You know what I'm saying?
He hastening to be loose.
There you go, man. You Jakes, you've been traumatized, man. And hope deferred make a heart sick.
Yes. And hope we know the expectations. They don't that same realm as you were talking about. They don't have nothing to expect. They expect to get shot, to die, to die in the hospital on all types of different medications and so-called medications. You know, they can't see what's happening. That there's another life coming better than this. As bad as this is the bottom. This is literally rock bottom. And they can't see a life. They can't see life better than this.
And that's why I said when the elder Squan said, hope deferred make it the horse. He said, but when it comes, the desire that is the tree of life. So your desire, which hope goes into El Beach, which is expectation of either good or evil, right? Particular men have an expectation. The elect men have an expectation of what? Rulership, dominion. And the wicked have, that's why he said, I was never shit, I ain't gonna never be shit.
Yep.
And the more, because his expectation is what? The inner, they tell you in Psalm 37, mark the perfect man. For the inner that man is peace.
Yep.
Meaning what? Copy that. Pattern that. The end of that man is peace. Real quick, it's Daniel 12 and 10. For what you say about that now? Many shall be purified and made white and tried. You see, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand.
Even 2/3 of our own people.
There you go, of our own people. All right, we know those that are accustomed to evil, they don't even count it, right? Because, like you said, they can't change, they don't care, right? But this goes out to our people, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand.
Quick brief. Proverbs 10 and 28. The hope of the righteous shall be gladness, but the expectation of the wicked shall perish.
Perish.
I ain't even read this Willie Lynch letter. The brothers is on fire. The comments is on fire. Man,
The expectations of the wicked is only wrath. That's enough. Like, there's no way around it.
You know, I was just going to add to what you said. It's like real quick, just to say this. What does it say? Those that were made in vain.
Yeah.
2/3 that were made in vain.
Multitude that was made.
The multitude that was made in vain. That's what I told you. I couldn't think of. Y'all got it.
And our people don't have a vision. That's why we got the prophets. We're seers. We're visionaries. Without very vision, the people perish. We need that vision, man. And we have that vision. We keep our eyes single. We understand that there's a prize at the end of this, man.
Hey, and our job is to deliver the vision unto you people that don't have the vision.
Yeah.
But the majority of our people don't want to see it. They don't want to hear it. They don't want nothing to do with it. They don't like it at all. They don't like the vision.
They hate the gospel.
Yeah.
Isaiah, the 61st chapter. Those first few verses, that's the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about liberating the prisoners, taking our people from out of darkness into the light. You know, it talks about the Lord getting vengeance upon our enemies. All that is in that. Jake don't want that.
It's like bringing to analogy of like worldly things, like when you have family reunions. It was only some here, man. Hey, we're the ones. Hey, it's already been organized, man. So we've been in positions of doing what? Of working it, you know, of actually building it, of organizing, man.
I got a relay script.
Kind.
You already on it. That wedding feast.
Yeah, kind.
We were the ones that the bridegroom told to fill my house.
Yeah.
You know,
Set it up.
And set it up and bring all the people in that you can. Send them out, right? And then everybody show up. Then he'll figure out who needs not to be there.
Yeah.
But bring everybody in. That's what we were told to do. Okay?
I'd agree with
That was more, right?
Yeah.
Good with that.
Back in Isaiah 52, verse 2. Shake thyself from the dust, arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion.
Woo.
It said,
Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion.
And when you have something by thing, an animal, person, whatever.
it's like a yoke. You just mentally controlled by your oppressor. He's like he has your mind. He tells you when to celebrate. He tells you when to be outraged at something. You know, he tells you when to comply. He tells you how to think, what to think. He has to validate everything for you. But see, you have a way out of that. This right here will free you from out of the snare of the devil, man.
Right.
All right, but hey, you really don't want to come out of, you know. We've been telling you get out, like that movie. We've been trying to tell you how to get out.
Wake up.
Yeah, but you want to stay in that sunken place. You know, Jay out there grilling and bump blasting, they, you know, whatever music they bumping because they, you know, on Juneteenth. Yo, when you come back in the kingdom, you're gonna be really ashamed. Really ashamed, man. All right. Yep.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, Yahweh shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness.
Strong delusion. You know, strong delusion. But hey, I mean that's and you know the Wadi Yabashim Yahushai that he made a separation. You got the elect and you got Israel. We know that the elect they're gonna obtain, they're gonna endure until the end. And then they're gonna be the ones that finally get to see the downfall of the enemy. Like Lord willing, we of the elect, we gonna get to watch it. We gonna get to see it, man. That's what Psalms the 91st chapter is about. We gonna look at the reward of the wicked. All the blood that gotta be disclosed of all of the blood of the saints that was shed here. That gotta get cleansed out. Okay? And that's when we're gonna finally celebrate. Proverbs 11 and 10. There's when the wicked is brought down, there's shouting.
God, yeah.
Shouting as in what? Shouting for joy. Somebody get up Revelation 19 and like the first 3 verses.
I'll read that first. The first part is good too. Proverbs 11 and 10. When it goes well with the righteous, the city rejoices. And when the wicked perish, there is shouting.
And when the wicked perish, there is shouting. See, that's when we're gonna really turn up, man. When we finally see these devils dropping, when the Lord comes back and press their ass in that wine press of his fury. When we see that smoke going up, and we see these devils just disintegrate, man. Get that in Revelation 19. Yep.
It's Revelation 19, verse 1. And after these things I heard a great voice of much people in heaven.
And that much people is what? The elect. That 144,000 and the 1/3, we're gonna be in the ship. That's gonna be New Jerusalem.
Right.
That's gonna be also coming down from heaven after the destruction. Go ahead.
Much people in heaven sang. And after these things I heard a great voice of much people in heaven saying, Hallelujah, salvation and glory and honor and power unto Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua with power.
And that's salvation. It's a reason why that's mentioned.
Yep.
Until you in that shit, you can't say you saved yet. All right.
And I tell you, Jeremiah 8 and 20.
Yep.
That some of this past, but we're not saved.
Exactly.
Yep.
We're not saved yet.
Exactly. So again, what the fuck is there to celebrate? You ain't even saved yet, man.
We are yet this day in our captivity. And quoting
Like you other Israelite groups, all that turning up and having fun and wanting to party all the damn time. What you celebrating for? You ain't even made it into the end zone yet. You know, Jake celebrate before they get into the end zone.
They even made it through even part of Jacob's trouble.
Yeah.
We ain't even really in Jacob's trouble yet. You celebrating?
The things we're reading about, especially in second Ezra, man, 15 and 16, the things we read about in them chapters, who could say that they're already going through that? Maybe Venezuela?
Maybe people in South America?
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
But we all got to go through that.
So Hebrews 13 and 14. For here we have no continuing Savior, but we seek one to come.
That's plain. That's plain. I'll go back to that and
It's 19 and 2. For true and righteous are, for he had judged the great whore which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and had avenged the blood of his servants at her hand.
Hey, blood got avenged.
Because the scripture says, the righteous cry and say, "When are you going to avenge our blood?"
How long?
Exactly.
How long?
Yeah, how long?
This is good.
And then going back to the law, bloodshed is
Yeah.
numbers 35 and 33.
Yeah.
Can't
It's,
become.
Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed, but by the blood of him that shed it.
There you go. And Esau, you're guilty.
Yep.
You're guilty of a lot of blood. So that's why you're going to be the main target when Yahweh. So that's why you're going to be the main target when Yahweh Shai returns. All right, you're going to become the blood of rams and fatlings and kidneys. You're going to be one big ass oblation right here in Babylon.
One big sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is Psalms 58 and 9. It's like Psalms 58 and 10. It says, the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked.
There it is, man. All right, that's when we gonna celebrate, man.
Yeah, we won't celebrate forever.
Hell
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be okay. Let's turn.
Everybody.
He's all like to rub it in our face. We gonna rub it in your face for 1,000 years.
But we're not gonna tease you with it. We just gonna be left.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Reminder of everything you was fighting against. Until the day y'all go to the bonfire, man.
Right. Yeah, we gonna hurry that day. That's gonna be Obadiah 18.
That's the real one right there. Obadiah 8, hey,
Yeah.
Obadiah 10.
Yeah, Obadiah 18.
Yeah.
In Genesis 9 and 6, it says, whoso shed a man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed.
Yep.
We gotta eat that. It's Revelation 19 and 3. And again, they say, hallelujah. And her smoke rose up forever and ever.
Forever, man.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke going up, man.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
And that's when we're gonna celebrate, because then we got the victory. Because now we got the victory over death. We have been changed. We got the power now. We with our Lord. We've been reunited with the bridegroom. Laws, statutes, commandments written into us.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're the sons of the power again, man.
Right.
Now we're restored back to our first estate. That's the ultimate reparations right there.
Here it is.
Right. That's the real reparation.
All the reparations you should desire.
That's it.
Nothing else to desire.
Nothing else
Equivalent to it.
Yeah,
It's nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. That's the state that's our hope. That's our expectation.
Gotta hit that.
Change.
Romans 11.
Yeah. Romans 11 is occupied till I come. Romans 11 and 7. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for. That salvation or that what was the word you just used a moment ago? You used a bunch of them slots. Peace or
Expectation.
all of that. Okay, so we don't right. Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. No reparation. That's what everybody looking for, reparations to get up out of this. But y'all don't even know what to look for. We've been telling you this is what you should be looking for, so you can get redeemed back to the power. Okay?
But a wicked generation seeking after a sign. Right? They don't know what to look for. The sign is not given into them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? A wicked and adulterous generation seeking a sign, but there should be no sign. But of the what? The prophet Jonah.
Yeah.
The sign there, listen, they signed it. Everlasting life is right before them, though yet they can't receive it or grasp it or get it or change their ways. They can't do it.
Yep.
You got stuck.
They stuck.
Stuck. Trap.
Yep.
They're in a trap, huh? Don't take like it being a trap.
Yeah, they trapped.
In a trap.
Fox said they got me trapped.
Mm-hmm.
You trapped, man. Yeah, King David even said that let their tables be made a snare.
Yeah.
You know. So hey, you know, that's it on that. You know, that's it. All right, so hey, with that, we're gonna close out. Lord willing, you brothers that tuned in were edified. The water sets, we're gonna give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kadosh. Shalom to the elder apostles, the great wisdom of the well, peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Shalom.